아 잠깐. 제시카 외동딸 일리노이 시카고 과선배는 김치모 그는 이사촌.
Bong Joon-ho is a filmmaker obsessed with rhythm. You can sense it in all of his films, but in his latest, Parasite, he outdoes himself. The tempo is perfectly calibrated. As a viewer, it almost feels like you're surfing the story. The way the editing and camera work, sound design, and music carries you from moment to moment. I think Bong knows that getting the pacing exactly right is the only way he can get his bold tonal shifts to work. The result of such attention to rhythm is a totally immersive viewing experience. The cadence of the whole movie is tightly controlled, but there's a montage about 40 minutes in that distills his mastery into a perfect diamond of a sequence. 60 shots, almost exactly 5 minutes. Definitely my favorite 5 minutes of the year. And I think it's worth taking a closer look at because it's really a thing of beauty. First, the setup. The montage comes at the end of Act 1 of Parasite, after a poor family have almost successfully duped a rich family into hiring them all for service jobs. The son becomes a tutor, the daughter becomes an art teacher, the father a driver, and now they're attempting to bring the mother in as a housekeeper. Problem is that the existing housekeeper is well established and well liked by the rich family, so the poor family hatches a plan to remove her from the picture. It's a great idea to enact this plan in montage because we've already seen 3 successful cons at this point, the tempo slowly building in each. With a montage, the cutting will get even faster and Bong can bring the entire act to a crescendo. Also, as the poor family's plans get more sophisticated, it's only right that the filmmaking does as well. A montage like this is going to test your ability to convey a lot of information across a limited number of shots, in this case, 60. Let's take a look at the first few.
생긴 건 둥글둥글한데 그년이 속은 아주 능구랭이야. 어떨 때는 사모님 행세를 할 때도 있어 지가.
맞아. 그리고 그 집 사람들 통틀어서 그 집에서 제일 오래 산 것도 그 여자야. 원래 거기에 살던 그 누구야? 그 건축가 남궁현자 선생. 그 집 가정부를 하다가 그걸 계속 이어서 다인의 가정부까지 하고 있는 거지. 남궁현자 선생이 이사 가면서 그 아줌마를 소개시켜 준 거야. 박 사장 부부한테. 이 집 관리 정말 잘하는 아줌마니까 계속 쓰시죠 그러면서.
집주인은 바뀌었는데 가정부는 안 바뀐 케이스구만.
좋은 일자리 꽉 움켜주고 안 놓는 거야.
그런 여자를 도려내려면 우리도 뭔가 준비를 해야겠다.
그치. 계획이 있어야 돼.
The first thing I notice is how balletic everything is, helped along by a classical piece from Handel's Rodelinda opera. The pacing is mesmeric. Bong achieves this by selectively using both slow motion and linear camera moves. Every shot offers a piece of information. Several foreshadow later moments in the montage, and this referencing back and forth, as well as the camera moves and the music, all contribute to making this sequence into an organism all its own.
복숭아 먹고 싶다. 난 복숭아 제일 좋아하는데.
깎아달라고 하지 왜?
우리 집은 복숭아는 못 먹어요. 금지과일.
A montage is a sequence that manipulates time. Look how many shots it takes to get from idea to execution.
그러니까 다이한테서 들은 바에 의하면 그 아줌마가 엄청 심한 복숭아 알러지, 알레르기가 있다는 거야. 그 왜 복숭아 그 겉에가 완전 다 털이잖아. 그 털이 1m 근처에만 가도 온몸이 새빨개지고 호흡 곤란해, 천식에 아주 쌩 난리가 난다네.
Bong gets from the moment the son hears about the housekeeper's allergy to the moment he poisons her in 8 economical shots. That's conciseness worthy of Hitchcock, who Bong actually snuck into this montage a few shots back.
아니 원래 이런 증상이 이렇게 나타나면은 방으로 냅다 뛰어들어가가지고 약을 먹으면 되는데 아우 갑자기 이러니까 뭐 경황이 없어서 내가 방에 어디다 뒀는지 모르겠더라고.
The poor father is deceiving the rich mother, so Bong shows him literally taking her for a ride. He sets the pace and she follows it. But there's actually another level of control here, because the words he says were written by his son, who designed this duplicitous little play.
제가 들으려고 들은 게 아니라 제가 들으려고 들은 게 아닌데 통화 내용이 또 들려오니까 어쩔 수 없이 저는
아버지, 지금 감정이 너무 막 여기 위에 올라가 있는데 그거 좀 여기까지 좀 내려보세요.
At this point, it's probably a good idea to bring up Bong's editor, Jinmo Yang, who obviously had a major role in shaping this sequence and the whole film. Now, Bong does a lot of the editing himself by extensively storyboarding, but any editor will tell you that the rhythm of a scene comes down to minute adjustments, and sometimes you have to get creative. If you look at this shot, for example, frame by frame, you can see something strange right here. In the middle of this pan, Yang stitched together two different shots because neither individually had the perfect pacing from both actors, so he Frankensteined it to get the right tempo.
결핵? 아이 설마.
진짜 활동성 결핵 판정 받았다고 전화로 누구에게 막 얘기를 하는데.
아니, 요즘에도 결핵 환자가 있어요?
아니 요즘도 결핵 환자가 있어요?
Yang also had a big part in finessing this section of the montage, which originally had much more repetition of the lines. Yang intercut the locations to give the tempo more bounce, and as a result, it feels like a single conversation, which actually reinforces the conversation this montage is already having with itself, a conversation that is about to pay off. This montage is a testament to Bong Joon-ho's control of his craft. But it's also about control. It comes at the moment in the story when the poor family's cunning, their ability to control things, has reached its pinnacle. Their plan was as perfect as the sequence, and it went off just as smoothly. But as we and the family quickly discover, even the most airtight plans are vulnerable to events. Success often contains the seeds of a later downfall, especially when it was achieved by means of cruelty. In Act 2, the bottom falls out, narratively and literally, and this montage is cast in a new light. The plan was not as perfect as it seemed, which of course makes the montage even more so.